The mother-in-law and daughter-in-law started fighting again over jealousy. Neither one wanted to give in and they began to wrestle with each other. But the older woman underestimated the younger one's strength, so she didn't gain any advantage at all. She even ended up badly hurt by her daughter-in-law. What's worse, she played the victim afterward and complained first, crying in front of Junfeng, saying her mother-in-law was too cruel. She said she had kindly made breakfast early that morning, but somehow was suddenly scolded without reason. And the older woman even started hitting her out of nowhere. To be fair, Yura really was quite the actress. It was clearly her who hurt Damiai badly, yet she turned herself into the poor victim, because Yura was crying so sadly and pitifully. Junfeng had no idea what to do with these two women. Just then Damiai came back from the hospital after seeing the doctor. Seeing her son already home, she ran to accuse Yura of being mean. She couldn't believe the young woman would pick on someone her age. She said she even lost 2 of her teeth in the fight, and her hands were covered with bruises from being hit. Even her face wasn't spared from those blows. If the girl had gone a bit harder, she might not have made it through the day. But before Damiai finished complaining, Yura started her act again. She cried and said no one in the world could be as bad as this mother-in-law. She even claimed the older woman had pulled out a handful of her hair. Both demanded Junfeng to do them justice, each saying the other should be thrown out of the house. The man was so overwhelmed by the scene, he just didn't want to deal with his family chaos anymore. So that's how it went. Damiai, who played tricks all her life, ended up losing to a younger girl, realizing she couldn't win against Yura. The next day the mother-in-law hurried to find her former daughter-in-law. She immediately started accusing Yura of being cruel, saying the young woman had no respect for elders and even hit her. It seemed she couldn't handle this new woman on her own, so she asked her ex-daughter-in-law to forgive Junfeng and remarry him. That way the other woman wouldn't be their match anymore. But Shuaying knew her ex-mother-in-law was up to no good, so she refused to remarry just to help her fight Yura. She even secretly hoped those two women would tear each other apart. When Shuaying distanced herself completely, Damiai had no idea what else to do. She could only rely on herself to deal with that woman. Unfortunately, Yura was an excellent performer. After fighting with Damiai yesterday, she brought her tonics today. In front of her boyfriend she acted all kind and respectful. Though the mother-in-law saw through her act, she still couldn't do anything. After all, she couldn't vent her anger in front of her son. Since she couldn't win, she had to learn to bear it for now. One day Shuaying went swimming with her daughter for exercise. By chance she met a male co-worker there, so they sat down and chatted briefly. Junfeng happened to see the scene. They seemed to be whispering and smiling together. In anger, Junfeng imagined himself rushing in and punching the man, but that powerful image was just in his mind. He knew he no longer had any right to interfere in her life. Watching the three of them together looked almost like a family. He could only walk away feeling defeated and frustrated. He finally realized he had lost the woman he truly loved. Seeing his wife and child get into another man's car, he followed them. He wanted to see how close they really were. They got out of the car and went into a restaurant. It turned out they were just having dinner with the child. Still, Junfeng kept watching them from a distance. What hurt him even more was that his daughter seemed to like the man. The scene of them together looked warm and